Our newest colony has just arrived. We just got a delivery for a colony that has been on my wish list for what feels like forever. This new species of ant is perhaps the most breathtaking colony I have ever seen. I promise you, when we unravel this exquisite colony, you will be blown away. But first, welcome to another episode of The Ant Keeper, where I upload every week about all things ant related. If you find yourself enjoying this video, then subscribe and join the AK colony. Your support really helps me out and I really appreciate it. Also, this channel is about to hit 2,000 subscribers with less than 10 to go. Thank you to everyone who has supported me so far. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I want to do a giveaway to celebrate. What should I give away? Let me know in the comment section below. These brightly coloured ants go by many names, such as carpenter ants, sugar ants, or the scientific name, Camponotus. This genus of ant is extremely common around the world, with many different types around where I live. We already have several Camponotus species, such as this one, the Camponotus consobrinus, or more commonly known as the banded sugar ant. What I love about this genus is their size. They're bigger than most other ants in our collection, but don't take 6 to 12 months to develop compared to the Myrmecia genus. These sugar ants were a perfect mix between what makes everything great about smaller ants and what makes everything great about bigger ants. What more could you ask for? And you know what? I was content with that, until I learned that there is a giant sugar ant. When I discovered this, I felt like a group of scientists had got together and had created some sort of dream in the lab, featuring all the different bits and pieces an ant keeper could ever dream of. I was skeptical as to how giant this mythical ant could really be. These last couple of weeks, new packages have been arriving of all these ants that you and I have been wanting to see. The first package was the absolute beast of an ant, the Myrmecia brevinoida, which has moved into the new home very well. They've even placed all of their larvae in this little dip in the back of the nest, beside the hydration spot. Then the very popular and highly requested honeypot ant colony, which are also doing great. They're currently being heated by the new heat cord that finally arrived. I mean finally, I waited ages for this. The heat cord finally arrived after being postponed many times. It's finally arrived, so it is finally heating up my ants through winter. Halfway through winter. Yep, okay, moving on. And now moving on. And now we have the new species of Camponotus. I am thrilled to share with you the giant sugar ant. The giant sugar ant is no exaggeration. The queen is as big as most of our ball ant queens, if not bigger. When I first discovered this species online, I really did wonder how big she could be. AK colony? I can proudly say I am not disappointed. She is literally a giant. Almost like a child's toy, like she doesn't even look real. This colony arrived at my front door, crammed securely inside its transit test tube. I couldn't just leave them in there, so I made up this little tubs and tube setup until I was ready to share with you all. AK colony, I've been busy. I've made a new nest for our colony of giant ants. This YTONG nest will comfortably house the colony for the next year, although I'm planning on heating this colony to promote faster growth. Typically, I always seem to make nests that are way too big for colonies. I don't know why. I've made like 50 and I do it every single time. I don't know. I don't have time to make another nest, so I'm going to try something new instead. I've cut out little pieces of sponge to go in the channels to block a good 1/3 of the living areas inside the nest. This makes the nest more of a suitable size. And once the colony grows in size, I'm going to take off the magnets and gently slide the glass over to the side, exposing the sponge pieces, which I can then remove. I'm not sure if it's going to work, or if I'm actually going to try this when the colony is big enough. Maybe I'll chicken out. Or if it looks like a worker's going to get stuck or the brood's going to get damaged, I won't attempt it. We'll see what happens. Regardless, I wanted to have the choice just in case. For most of our ants, I'm trialing a new setup design. Starting off with a homemade YTONG nest, that is where the ants live, it's like the home. Then we have a short length of vinyl tubing which connects the nest to the outworld. I'm using these clear plastic boxes. Personally, I love these boxes. They're light, easy to work with, and still give great clarity to the ants exploring the inside of the outworld. The last thing you want is a plastic box where you can't actually see inside. For the outworld, I'm using sand mixed with some fiber. The dry sand stops the ants from wanting to nest in the outworld, and the coconut fiber gives the ants something to nest with. It also helps the larvae grip onto something if they try to spin a cocoon. This setup overall is pretty cheap to make, and I think it looks great, especially when I walk into the ant room seeing a lineup of these setups. I think it's really cool. I think it looks even better than how I imagined it. Moving the colony into this new setup is so exciting. I'm going to place the heat cord under 1/4 of the nest and inject some water into the reservoir chamber. This will help create some humidity. I'm not sure if this species likes humidity, but there's only one way to find out. Every other sugar ant colony we have loves it, so I'm willing to make the bet. Once the nest is well hydrated, I'll cover it with an aluminium foil piece to help eliminate any light from entering the nest. These giant ants have something special about them I really want to try out. Notice their gaster, or their bum? It's almost transparent. I wonder if we feed these workers coloured honey, would their gaster change colour too? Let's try it! I've placed small droplets of coloured honey on small pieces of baking paper. This colony has been really well fed this last week, so I'm not sure how much they'll eat, or even if they'll be interested in this colourful honey. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's look at another colony of sugar ants that arrived in the mail. I decided to get myself a second colony of banded sugar ants. Yes, another colony of the same ant we already have, like the one I showed earlier in the video. Why I bought a second colony of the same ant, an ant that I already have, you may wonder? Well, I say why not? Seriously, I thought it'd be cool to raise two colonies of the same species to potentially breed together in the future. Wouldn't that be cool? AK colony? I think we should name this colony. Do you have any ideas? Did you know that there was such a thing as a giant sugar ant? I'm so glad to be able to secure one of these colonies and share it with you all those around the world. I love how different ants really are, and being able to share this with you is just wonderful. As this colony grows, I'll be sure to keep you all updated. If you made this far, then make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me out. Also, if you subscribed and become part of the AK colony, if you haven't, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe and be a part of one of the fastest growing colonies here on YouTube. I'd love to know from you, what should we call our new colony of giant sugar ants? Leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for watching this week's episode and helping me reach 2,000 subscribers. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, ant keepers unite.